moments in your life and career of late? I guess that would have to go down as another one.
No, 100%. Tough game today, but we just needed to stick in there. We knew we would get chances, and that's just in the right area to tap it in, and obviously we're victorious, so happy.
Yeah, does it help the belief and confidence you've brought to the club? You've obviously been flying all season long, and you've picked up where you've left off at Bournemouth.
I think the whole environment here is perfect. Everyone's confident and wanting to achieve the best. So I've just come into that, and they've helped me with my confidence and made me feel welcome.
Different working for this manager, and obviously you've seen these players from the outside, but working with them in a couple of games and the little time you've probably had on the training pitch.
Yeah, it's been a lot. Definitely been a lot, but I've enjoyed it so far. I'm definitely picking up things very quickly, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like I said,
crazy to think it was last Wednesday that you scored your last goal for Bournemouth, and here you are. 2 City goals in already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking the confidence that I had from Bournemouth here, and like I said, playing with a smile on my face. So I'm enjoying every moment.
What did you say to the camera at the end?
Second goal should have counted. The referee came and inspected me and told me what was going on, but yeah, it's what it is.
Okay, well done. You're the player of the match.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Well, he said that the second goal should have counted. Let's see what our rules expert, Christina Uncle, thinks. Good to see you, Christina. What do you think? And what do you think about how long it took as well to come to the decision?
You can't fault the player of the match for wanting that extra goal, right? There's bonuses tied to that. But from the referee standpoint, it is the correct decision. This is one, and I can understand why generally speaking, people do not like this. One, it's what we call a toenail offside, and two, at the same time, we're talking about, right, is he really impacting the goalkeeper in making this save? Anytime you have, particularly when we talk, right? So you do have offside. It's very clear. We saw the offside lines dropped. It marks that he's in an offside position. That's why the referee is sent to the monitor, right? Because he has to make a subjective decision as to whether or not there was interference with play. People are going to hold on to my words, interference of play, and say absolutely not. That's where the argument should be. But anytime there is someone in an offside position who's very close to the goalkeeper within the 6 yard, and particularly the 6 yard box, let me apologize, which is very, very close to the goalkeeper in this situation, is in impacting a player who has an opportunity to play the ball, be close to the goalkeeper. 9 out of 10 times that will be given, and that is what we would consider is an offside position. So even though, yes, he's in an offside position, two, he's impacting and interfering with different opponents, as well as being very close to the keeper, this would be the decision that would be expected and the outcome. But it is a subjective decision, but one that would be the preferred decision, and one that I would say would be wrong if the VAR did not send it down for review.
Christina, we've not argued before, but I feel like we're getting close to it for the first time. This is not a footballing moment, though, is it? If that's a clear and obvious error, then we can't be waiting that long, surely. It's 4 or 5 minutes of extra time because of that decision. And if it is subjective, why did the referee have to go and still look at it 4, 5, 6 times? Why can't VAR say, hey, we think it's this is the reason why, and we follow it? I love referees, as you know, but I feel like the rule book now is making it even harder for you guys to ref games. It's getting more complicated. VAR was meant to be in to make it easier, and it seems like it's creating more problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to be happening. This wasn't something that was lost on us officials. When you had footballers, right, and at the end of the day, their coaches, their managers, their stakeholders, there were referees at the table that made the decisions, but ultimately these decisions were made by other individuals that were not just referee-based. So there was all voices were at the table. Now, you hit it in the head. These things that go to VAR and a referee goes to VAR are subjective decisions. So if this was a typical offside play, which is what everyone expects, you're an offside decision, you're in offside position, you play the ball, and it's black and white, that at least here domestically, Major League Soccer, you still go to the monitor, so everyone does it a little differently. But over there, they would just go into the referee's ear, say offside, offside, played with the ball. Here we go. He would just make the decision and not go to the monitor. But anything that's subjective, the VAR protocol, referees, the footballers at stake would prefer that the referee who has the final decision makes that subjective decision and doesn't leave that up to the booth to make that subjective decision. That does take a little bit more time into the process, but then there's a decision of they would rather have the center referee have all the details, information, and be the one to make that final decision as opposed to somebody up in the booth who doesn't have the tempo and the feel of the game.
Fill your boots.
I understand the process, but VAR wasn't brought in for this reason here. This is
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
This is anti-goal, which they said they wasn't going to do. They said they're not going to re-referee the game. This for me is re-refereeing the game. And if you look at Chow and Haaland here, they've both got each other. Okay, on that angle, it looks like Haaland's got him a little bit more. But on the reverse angle, Chow's got his arm round his neck. So they're both going at it. I don't think, while it might be right, I don't think we should be giving away goals for this.
If they would have given the goal, there wouldn't have been one person would have looked at this and thought that shouldn't have been allowed. But by the letter of the law, they've actually, whether we like it or not, ends up being the right decision.
Okay, if it was okay, I understand that, and that's totally fair. But why take 5.5 minutes?
5.5 minutes of my life, Michael, I'm never going to get back.
He's like that, and Shirky, you've talked about him so many times, haven't you, Jamie? How good he is, both-footed, gets in really good positions, and then the finishing touch as well.
I think so, Micah, because it felt for a long while players like this were going out of the game, what we call mavericks, that people that make those final moments. I absolutely love watching him play. Left foot, right foot, he's a magician on the ball. Just watch how he gets into a lovely position. He's next to the referee and he just sees a little bit of space opens up. Now he's got his right arm up. Can you play it to me? Antoine Semenyo sees him. Joe Linton doesn't react in time, flicks, and then now he's off. Makes a good bit of aggressive run to get onto the next one. They slide it back to him. It's brilliant by Aït-Nouri, and then he's in a goal-scoring position. Because what I thought when they'd signed him, they've obviously done a lot of due diligence on finding out about players like him. But you never know how they're going to do. You don't know how they're going to adjust to the Premier League, because sometimes players like you can think, well, it's all right when we got the ball, you know, we're going to be fine with it. But what he's actually shown, he can do it with the ball and without it. And I think, when I watch football, when you pay to watch footballers, you want to see someone that can do something that can light the stadium up. I mean, I remember many years ago, they had King Clancy at Man City, someone that can do something, a maverick. Now, Georgie was probably great with the ball, not so good without it, but he actually does a great job without the ball. And you can see, because I reckon there were reservations. They would have thought, is he the sort of player that we want in here? Maybe they'd heard a couple of things without the ball. Is he going to work? The team ethic we have here. But I think he's been an unbelievable signing. The signing of the season for me so far. Like, absolutely brilliant. I love to see mavericks like that play.
Fill your boots.
I understand the process, but VAR wasn't brought in for this reason here. This is
5 minutes and 40 seconds.
This is anti-goal, which they said they wasn't going to do. They said they're not going to re-referee the game. This, for me, is re-refereeing the game. And if you look at Chow and Haaland here, they've both got each other. Okay, on that angle, it looks like Haaland's got him a little bit more. But on the reverse angle, Chow's got his arm round his neck. So they're both going at it. I don't think, while it might be right, I don't think we should be giving away goals for this.
If they would have given the goal, there wouldn't have been one person would have looked at this and thought that shouldn't have been allowed. But by the letter of the law, they've actually, whether we like it or not, ends up being the right decision.
Okay, if it was okay, I understand that, and that's totally fair. But why take 5.5 minutes?
5.5 minutes of my life, Michael, I'm never going to get back.